Celtics just have defense up and down the board.
They're going to have to do some, I think, pick and rolls that involve Tatum because Brown plays good defense. If you do pick and rolls and you have White and you have Drew, I mean, you got your 1, 2, and 3 that are all good defensive players. And so Porzingis, they might expose him maybe on the defensive end, getting him out. And if he's not totally healthy and not ready, Jason Kidd's done a great job. So I'm going to go with it, which I know might seem a little crazy because I did have the Mavs losing last series. So
I love that your
I'm going for
hatred for the Celtics
it is.
puts you in Delulu land, like just way out in nowhere.
No. Have you ever heard of speaking it into existence?
That's manifesting. You're manifesting.
Yes, I have never ever rooted for the Celtics to win a finals ever, and that will never ever happen. So, if they're down 3-0, the Mavs, and Luka is hurt, and Kyrie is hurt, I'm going to pray for a miracle.
Can I ask you a hypothetical?
Yeah, go ahead.
What would you have done if Kobe Bryant got traded to the Celtics?
What would I have done? What would I have felt towards Kobe?
Just in general, how would you have felt?
Kobe's done. I'm done with Kobe.
Really?
I found out a long time ago, thanks to a great Seinfeld episode. I root for jerseys. I root for laundry. I'm a laundry fan. I really like the players, and that's
LeBron.
That's a real
Except LeBron.
LeBron changed a lot for me. LeBrick really did change that. That's true. So. That's a different story.
So
and
if Larry Bird was on the Lakers, you wouldn't root for him?
For Larry? I don't know. My age, you asked some good questions because Larry, so as a kid, and this is just the real deal, I hated Larry Bird. Now I've grown to respect him now, and I actually enjoy him now that he's done playing because Magic has accepted him. I was able to accept him. I needed some help. I would watch as a kid when they would play in the Boston Garden, and I would look, and there was all these fans cheering, and it made no sense to me. Like, it made no sense that people could actually cheer for them. It just, anyway, it made no sense. I had a friend that was a huge Celtics fan, just like I was a Laker fan, and played sports with him, and liked him, but did not like this part of him. And we would argue. And one time we had a baseball game, and I didn't even go out onto the field when we were supposed to because we were arguing in the dugout, and we got in trouble. Anyway, but we went back and forth. When we were in junior high, he starts coming to our school. And he hated the Lakers. He starts bringing autographs from Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And he's like, I'm like, no, what is going on here? And that really ticked me off. And he was like, proud of it. His sister starts dating Michael Thompson, who is the number 1 pick in the 78 draft for the Blazers, is now playing for the Lakers, right? And he is getting autographs from my heroes. And I was so jealous, and I was so frustrated. And he became a Laker fan. And I was just like, I like you. I won't mention his name right now. He's a good guy, but I just couldn't accept him as a Laker fan. And years later, I was working at a radio station, sports radio station. And Michael Thompson, lo and behold, is somebody that I'm working under, helping kind of behind the scenes. And I asked Michael Thompson, because my friend's sister marries Michael Thompson. And by the way, they have a child named Klay Thompson. And, anyway, so I have jealousy all through my life. And so I asked Michael, I said, how did you get him to switch? Because he hated the Lakers. And he said, oh, it was easy. I just took him to the forum and I said, hey, person, I won't mention his name. He said, I'd like you to meet Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, and James Worthy. And he said his mouth dropped and he became a Laker fan. And I was so mad. So I don't
think that would have happened to you if you got to meet Larry Bird in person?
I don't think so.
Really?
I think maybe, but my bitterness was pretty significant towards the Celtics to the point it's 2024 and I am rooting against them. significantly. So, but maybe if
So you don't like Shaq, right?
No, I like Shaq, but Shaq played when he was like 84 years old.
Still played. Still wore the jersey.
Well, did he turn around once, snapped his Achilles, and then quit?
You saw he got paid.
So
he was
I was
the payroll.
Okay. Here's one. I got Rick Fox was the Celtics. He was drafted by the Celtics, played with the Celtics, came over to the Lakers. I just gave him 1 year ban of rooting for him, but then he came over and he converted, and so he made a conversion. So I accepted him in, but. Mostly, I root for the jersey. I do. If Kobe would have left, I would have and gone to the Celtics in his prime. My relationship with Kobe would not have been the same mentally. So Kobe wouldn't have done that.
So he say he leaves, and then he comes back.
Who?
Kobe. Because I know Kobe Bryant is.
This is like a therapy session right now.
I'm curious. I want to know what is the limit because I'm curious why just the hatred is so deep.
Okay, so the hatred is so deep because when the Lakers played the Celtics, we lost our first one when we played them, and I believe it was 84. We had already won 2 championships, and we played. The Lakers had the stinking game. And this is great. I've needed this therapy. So we had 2 things happen. James Worthy, who is, I believe, a rookie at the time, gets the ball at the end of the game, and all we have to do is basically get up the floor. They win the game. We're up 2, and he throws a soft little pass. Celtics steal it, make a layup. They go on to win that game. Later in the series, Magic had a bad pass. It was the only time where they actually called him Tragic Johnson because he blew it in the finals, and they were waiting for the last shot. He waited too long, then he passed it, and then the clock went off. And as a kid, I wanted to beat them so bad. So bad. There was nothing to compete with. There was no cable back then. This was everything to me.
Yeah.
Everything. And so I'm watching, and I was devastated. And then I watched those guys celebrate like they were better, and we just gave it to them. That's the way I felt. They were good, but we gave it to them. We came back and won it, and then we beat them again. So we did beat. Magic beat Bird in college, and then 2 out of 3 times they played. I still only think of 84 when they lost and the bitterness. My greatest moment was when the Lakers beat the Celtics in the Celtics, Boston Garden. That was a great moment. Game 4 of the 86 playoffs where Magic makes a hook. Anyway, I don't like the Celtics. There's no doubt about it. I root for Jersey mostly. And that's where I'm at. And so I have become, as of a few days ago, a huge Luka fan. I've liked Kyrie. I like some of the things that some of what he stood for. He's a little unique or whatever, but he has stood for his convictions, and I actually do respect that.
Yeah.
As long as I think they're somewhat in line with things that I can at least understand. Some of them are a little goofy. I'd like to see him do well. Jason Tatum. The other problem is the Lakers should have taken Jason Tatum, but no, we were lured in by, who was it? One of the
Lonzo.
We were lured in by Lonzo, and we could have taken Tatum. Swing and a miss there, and that's what's funny. If Tatum would have been on the Lakers, I'd be a huge Tatum fan, but he. We didn't take him. Wasn't his fault, but he was obviously a much better player. I think he was taken 4th.
Something like that. I think it's interesting. You say you root for jerseys, but in actuality you root against one specific jersey.
Oh, I am. Well, I'm the biggest supporter of my.
Yes, okay. But when it comes down to it, when you really boil it down, you're just a hater of one specific jersey.
There is one jersey that I do.
It doesn't really matter who's on the other side. Yeah, as long as that one jersey
a
loses.
Good question. Would you rather have them crash and burn or have your team win?
Yeah.
Boy,
Yeah.
you might have something there because there is some great things to watch when some people that you dislike. When
Yeah.
I'd watched Larry Bird, I heard Larry Bird say this a while back. He said he left the Forum and he was heading out to the parking lot and he saw Magic Johnson over by his car and he was kind of with his head down. And he said he looked at Magic and he said, "Suffer, baby, suffer." and you got to understand, the league's not the same now. Back then, Kevin McHale absolutely clotheslined Kurt Rambis, goes down, they throw fists, and they're just separate 2 shots. You might call it technical here and there. I mean, they were slugfest.
Yeah.
And Larry Bird was in multiple fist fights. And this was very, very common until the Bad Boys kind of went a little, darker in the way they did things. And they tried to clean things up. But so not only would you watch your team play against each other, but they would literally try to hurt each other, and they truly hated each other.
Absolutely.
Nowadays, they're all friends. And if they lose, they say, "Hey, why don't you join me on my team next year? Let's go on a banana boat and excursion." And so it's all different. So anyway, but that's the thing. And so this is all why I come to the conclusion, Mavs in 6.
Sticking with it.
You don't make me go 5. So
I wish I had your level of delusion.
no,
I wish I did.
Mavs in 3. I wish that could happen, but